everybody. As every Wednesday, as you know, we bring you our brand new listings. Unfortunately, Etienne is not with us today. He's on a big conference there in Toronto. So you'll be with me today talking to you about the brand new listings that we've got. We've got quite a few. We're looking at 30 new listings this week. So every week we're realizing as we're entering spring that we're getting a lot more people that are putting their houses on the market. So this is a very good sign that we're getting a very busy season. Now, on the same note, I want to let you know, for some of you that are probably aware that April 28th will be our election date. So right now, the Prime Minister of Canada has announced officially that there will be some elections. Now, this will affect a lot of people across the board, especially in the housing market, especially for first-time buyers. There's a lot of changes that are coming along, and that we need to take a real good look at that. So, like I repeated before, it is big news, especially given the international and political landscape. But perhaps even more impactful that the Canadians' Right announced that the government of Canada is demanding the elections, taking into consideration everything in terms of the tariffs, the housing crisis. As you know, there's a lot of people that are trying to have access to housing. The inventory is low across the board, especially here in Quebec. And basically, for some of you that don't know, they've decided to remove the GST from new homes, which could save you a considerable amount of money. As you know, when you're buying a brand new property, oftentimes they will charge you GST and the provincial sales tax, and that will be removed. So that can save thousands and thousands of dollars for people. So also, that will be for houses that are $1 million and less. So just to get that nuance clear. So if you're buying a house at $3 million, then you're not getting that cut. But if you're buying anything under $1 million, then of course that could bring you quite a bit. And you know, these savings could go up to $50,000 per person. So I think it could be quite a lucrative amount of money that you can save by doing that. So now we're going to jump into our listings. As I said, we have 30 listings. The first listing we're going to start is with Yasser Syed, which is our first listing of this week, followed by Marie-Yvonne Paint and Samuel Demers. Then we have Benjamin Guillou Nissin, followed by Béatrice Baudinet. Then, of course, we have Sean Brody and Scott Brody that have one particular property located in St. Louis and Beaconsfield, and followed through by Scott Brody and Megan Guillermo Brody that have another property located on Lakeshore. So now, like I said before, now that they've announced that the GST announcement, now we're understanding that we're seeing some changes that have taken place locally. For the people that have been in the market, you must have noticed that there's been a situation of multiple offers. Myself being on the phone call with brokers every single day, I've noticed that, you know, there's multiple offer situation, back and forth going on. And I realize also that there's been some brokers that have been putting the properties a little bit under the actual value. You know, followed through, coming through with an open house that will be following through. If they put it out on a Thursday, the open house comes in on a Sunday, and all of a sudden you see everybody just running up to try to see for the races who's going to win that. So it's something that we've noticed. We did notice also that there's been a huge rush in terms of pre-approval. So people are rushing to the bank. They're rushing to see their mortgage brokers to find out what they can be pre-approved for so that they could start shopping. So it's getting busier and busier. Week by week, we're noticing that it's getting harder and harder. And especially with the interest rate cut that we've had very recently, we've realized that it's just boost everything all of a sudden. Now, mind you, April 2nd still stands that there will be some tariffs coming into play. We don't know if whether or not that will affect in any way. I think that people got to a point where they're kind of used to the story, the narrative, and the situation. So it may not have much of an effect, but we'll see how it plays out, and we'll keep you posted on how things move along. So now, we did notice that the supply also in the Greater Montreal has increased, but the demand has increased quite tremendously. So even though we're seeing a little bit of supply coming up, but the demand is just overwhelming the supply. So it is a seller's market for anything that would be $1 million and less. I think for regular homes, and for condos, I mean, there's some condos galore. But I mean, for homes, you really gotta shop well and make sure that you do a good job. That's why if you don't have a real estate broker, I strongly suggest that you do get in contact with us so that we can put you in the right direction, set you in the right path in order for you to make the right choice. You're never going to be in better hands than to have the right company to be able to help you do this. People that have knowledge, people that have been doing it for years, people that understand the landscape. So even though you might have some knowledge yourself, it doesn't hurt to have somebody to come into play that can give you maybe another perspective that you may have overlooked. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can DM us. You can reach us directly by phone number. You can call any one of our offices. You can send us a text message if you want, whatever it is. There's no obligation. And if you just have a question or maybe just want to get your home evaluated, by all means, don't be shy and get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. So now we're moving on to the next listings that we have. So we continue on now with Scott Brody and Melissa Langelier, followed through with Serge Gabriel and Manon Sénécal. And then we have another one with Serge Gabriel and Patricia Legal. Then we have Joshua Monroe Blanchette with a new property listed in Saint-Colomban. Joshua joined us recently. Joshua used to work with us years ago, and he finally got his real estate license, and now he's working with us, and we can see that he's already pretty active on the market. Then we have Sophia Chen. And Sophia Chen's got two listings. So we got one back-to-back with another here. And then that's it for this segment here of these listings here. But you know what? We've got a ton more. So I think I'm just going to continue on, actually, to be very honest with you. So we'll go with Franco Pompilio. And then we have Jason Muzrick. Followed through, Jason Muzrick's got two properties, one on Rue Hébert and another one on Rue Allard. Following through, we do have Carly Friedman. And then, of course, we have Ryan Sinu. That has also another property that's just been listed in Kirkland. Okay. Now, when we talked about earlier about the GST change and what it means for first-time buyers and renters who are considering buying, with the prices we're saving $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 at closing, that could be the difference between waiting and buying now. So if you're a renter that's on the fence, if you're a first-time buyer that's maybe not renting, but maybe that you live at your parents' house and you're thinking of buying right now, this would be the time that you'd want to get more educated on the matter. Now, on another note, I've noticed that, a lot of people have been in situations where, they're wondering, listen, can I deal with one broker and can I deal with another broker at the same time? Well, to be very honest with you, I don't think it's good practice to be able to do that, okay? Now, if you know that you're dealing with one broker, it's always best for you to sign a buying contract with that person. Why? Because you want that person to be able to represent you fully, okay? And you don't want to be a conflict of interest, especially when you're getting into negotiation situation and all that. So it's very important for you to keep that in mind. Dancing around brokers is not something that's recommended. It's recommended for you to find the right person that's the right fit to be able to make you the right choice and then to go on with that person all the way to the end. I think you'll make a better move by being able to do that than dancing around brokers. You're not going to be able to get the full experience. You're not going to be able to get people fully committed to be able to help you and do what you want to do. So, if the broker is committed in being able to help you reach that goal, you got to be committed. You got to have that reciprocity so that you guys are able to get to the finish line together. Okay. So moving on with our listing, we got quite a few today. So we have Lily Lee that's been extremely busy She's now reached approximately 100 listings. So it could just give you, imagine how much work that is. So she's got 2 listings this week. One that's on René Lévesque, another one that's on Saint Jacques, a third one that's on Place Phillips. Following through, we got Cyprien Gott that just got a brand new listing on Rue Paul Pau in Montreal. And then, of course, we have Mr. Alain Carrière that has a property in Saint-Constant. Then we have Athena Bactis that has another property in Saint-Sauveur. And then we have Julien Baumier in the Ville-Marie area that has one property there and another property located in Ville-Saint-Laurent on Henry Bourassa Boulevard. We also have here Mrs. Yang Yang Zhang on Sources. And then we have Charles Roberts, followed through by Frédéric Bétan sur la rue des Seigneurs in Montreal dans le sud-ouest. And then we have Wai Fei Yu sur la rue Boulevard Bouchard in Dorval. And then, of course, last but not least, we do have Isabelle Stern, who just listed a property on Des Bassins. So these were pretty much the listings of the week. As you can see, we had quite a few. So, like I said, if there's any one of these listings that interest you, by all means, get in touch with us. We'll be able to point you in the right direction. If you're looking for information regarding real estate, regarding the value of your home, regarding, anything that latent defects, anything whatsoever, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. So as you know, every Wednesday we talk about our new listings. Every Friday we'll be talking about our open houses. As you can see today, Ted Mellor is not here. He is in Toronto, but we'll be back in town so that we can complete this open house situation on Friday. On this note, I wish you guys a wonderful week.